Salute, salute, salute. We are back. Knicks and Bruises. I got the Queen in the house. I got DJ Shuttle in the house. How y'all doing?
Super good. I'm doing super good right now.
Nothing's
Oh
to
yeah.
complain about, right?
Nothing.
Nah, it's so good. I got the white beater on and I'm comfortable.
I feel you. I feel you.
That's how good it is right now.
It definitely is. What a game last night. I mean, we might as well just start right there. What a game! Double overtime. Coming out party for IQ. Don't forget the H if you say in his full name, because that's him, Emmanuel. Uh, man, what else can we say, man? That was a great game.
Instant classic. And that's gonna be one of them instant classics for sure.
No
Brunsonless,
doubt.
Brunsonless. Let's
Yeah.
let's put everything in perspective. Um, I brought that question up to Sim after the Miami game. Do you think we should rest Brunson? I wasn't live, but I called in and I'm like, you think we should rest him? Because that ankle that ankle injury looked bad. He did come back and play, but it was the jokes for Clyde. Hey, what did they did something to Brunson, you know, and Mike Breen like, yeah, they just taped it up. They taped it up, but let the man get some rest. And I guess my first question after we talk about this game is, should we give Brunson another game of rest? Um, but what was your takeaways of the game? I know you did a breakdown earlier, Queen, but yeah, you could share some of your sentiments if anybody missed it, and if you missed it, go check out Dope Soul Sports Talk. Like, subscribe, check out the Queen's channel as well.
No doubt. You know what? It was an impressive victory for me because I thought that Boston would be primed and ready, given the fact that we beat them less than a week ago. They lost to Brooklyn. They had a 28-point lead and wound up losing by 15 or 16. I think 2 nights before we played them. They were first in the Eastern Conference. Now they're second. Milwaukee kind of passed them. So I said, "Oh, we're not gonna catch them flat." Put it that way. And we're going in there without Brunson, right? The Knicks gave them the Knicks gave Boston everything they could and some. And it was just impressive to see RJ step up 14 points in that first quarter. Randall had 10, and Quick, he came right out the first three just to put everybody on notice that he was ready. When he pulled up like 3 to 5 feet beyond the 3-point line, I was like, okay, he putting everybody on notice. And everybody pretty much showed up. That
Yeah,
was a signature win for the Knicks.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that quickly shot. Believe it or not, it was a good shot. Because if you looked at the defense, Brown didn't know who he was looking around to see who was going to guard who, and that's when he realized, oh, I guess I got Quickly, and by then Quickly was already
Great.
rising up. So great recognition, great IQ, if you will, by IQ.
He
So
might be he might be earning the acronym back with me. He might be earning it back. Most impressively for me was well, for me it's two things with Quickly, which was the biggest, biggest thing with him was his shot selection and field goal percentage. And even though he may not have turned the ball over a lot, just wasn't doing the right things with the ball. So he's, as I've told some guys that said, oh, he should have been playing earlier. I'm like, no,
No.
he sat, he watched, and he got motivated by not playing. He improved his defense, and now he's actually shooting 6 percentage points higher than he shot the prior 2 seasons. So this is what's making his impact, six man, of the year worthy. And I mean, as far as the game, man, I thought the Miami game, it was like every like 5, 6 guys like all filled their role and did
mhm.
well. But it's like this game might have even topped that game in terms of
Yeah.
all around play from top to bottom. And as the saying goes, you're only as strong as the weakest link.
And you know why though? Because back to that Tibbs mentality, it was next man up. So Brunson out, people had to elevate. You know what I
Right.
mean? More than one person had to elevate. You know what I mean? And hence, I think we had one of our better games from RJ, which
Yes.
I don't think was talked about enough,
Yep.
in the last 12 hours or so. And then obviously, IQ's coming out party. So yeah, 100%, I agree.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I didn't know if I cut you off.
Loved it. But, I mean, after Miami, Boston, those are my two number one teams to hate. So beating these teams back to back, that gets me going right now.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
And he said it was a good shot, of course. Shot because it went down. If it didn't go down, Tibbs would be furious. The only reason I beg to differ is because I'm basing it off of what the defense was doing. Now, if the
True.
defense was set and he took that same exact shot, I agree. That's ridiculous. But he did that based off of a read, not like just
A heat check.
I guess
It wasn't just like a heat check.
heat check.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but I just thought it was just an outstanding game, man. Just the resiliency of the team, to be down, then back and forth with the lead. Like there were plenty of opportunities to just roll over, say forget it. We're not gonna win this game. We play
We
hard.
we put up
It's
a good fight without Brunson.
yeah,
Right.
consolation. Right,
Right.
consolation, walk away with a consolation win. But nah, the team said, that's not gonna do it. We're gonna get it done. And I mean, all I gotta say is, we heart and O. You know what I'm saying? We heart and
Right.
O right now. You feel me? We heart and O, and it's still race to 50. So everything's clicking.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. I mean, and listen, and not that 50 means something. It's just usually the good teams cross that 50 mark. Usually. So I would like to see it for the Knicks. I would like to see a 50, even if it doesn't mean much in the regular season. I just want to see it.
And I've been trying to get everybody's input or everybody's opinion on what transpired, seeing what people are saying about the Knicks, what people are saying about the Celtics, and certain media outlets are they're concentrating it on what's going on with the Celtics as
Wow.
opposed to look at these Knicks in the midst of a nine game win streak. But this particular game,
And
obviously, we're Knicks fans.
considering that the Celtics are 25 games over 500, and they're getting ridiculed. Like, I mean, you got a rookie coach. I mean, it's kind of tough to be Boston. I mean, I love that problem. 25 games over 500. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about what's wrong. I mean, Tatum's really, really good. Obviously, Brown is great. Smart is a defensive player of the year guy, but I mean, it's not like this is perception wise. It's not like this is Booker and KD or Kyrie and KD. It's not like you wouldn't really put them in super team category. So, I mean, I don't know how much more you really could be expecting from this team.
And that's what I was saying. Do you think some media outlets are overvaluing the Celtics or still undervaluing us, or a little bit of both?
Probably a little bit of both. Remember, Boston went to the finals. I mean, they went to the final. They went to the finals. So they're a good team. And they've fallen on a little slide. Because they lost to the Nets as well. I'm sure that's playing into the perception that what's going on with Boston. You had a 28-point lead on Brooklyn. You wind up losing by 15. That was like a 40-something point turnaround. Then you turn around, you lose to the Knicks for the second time in a week. So I think all of that is playing into Boston. And maybe some people aren't up on what the Knicks are doing. and they still holding on to these old, old narratives. And you're gonna lose to the Knicks on top of that twice.
And that, yeah, that's
You know?
that's exactly what it was though. It was like, now they grouping us with the Nets. Oh, you lost to the Nets and the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like, all right,
Right.
come on. First
They
of
not
all,
up on what's going on. Yeah.
I get the Nets thing after in their current situation, and not to slight them, because they have a chance still to be in the fight. You know what I mean? Because of the cushion that they started with, with
Mhm.
after the deadline. But
Yeah, but
now go ahead. I hear my point right after.
it's the team is 25 games over 500. Like let's really keep it in perspective for the people that are like, what's up with the Celtics? And we're considering their slide to be 6-4 in their last 10 games. So, I mean, most teams would be okay with going 6-4 in their last 10 games. That equates to a 50-win season over a course of a whole season. So, I mean, I don't know. I think people are kind of responding a little too harsh, too quick on Boston, and not also giving the Knicks enough credit. But truth be told, somehow, some way, if the Knicks don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and it's Boston and it's Milwaukee, I'd be picking Boston. So, you know,
Mm.
you know,
See,
To your point,
my only thing with them is they've been theoretically a group for a long time, right? I mean, excuse me one second.
like 4 years.
Pardon me. You go back to pre Kyrie, right? And they
Right.
was a threat in the East. They were talked about as a dangerous team. Then they
Well,
get Kyrie.
well, that was Tatum's rookie year, actually.
I mean, so since Tatum arrived, they've been
A contender. A
a
contender.
contender, or at least playoff contention. So they've built their way up to who they are, and with no rebuild in between. And you think about the league and how many teams have rebuilt within that time frame. So I guess I can get some of the people having higher expectations, and I can get some of the people saying, "All right, how long are you going to play around with this experiment
Well,
without
and I think
making a
and I
bigger
think that's why people were
change?"
kind of like on board with the whole trade Brown and get KD thing. But enough about that. We got 9 wins in a row. We on the race to 50. We on the race to 50. Enough of the losers lounge. Even though I love the losers lounge, by the way, Tone.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
So
yeah, I didn't get a chance to check it out yet.
We're
that's the type of creativity. That's the type of creativity I love.
we're gonna keep that going, and hopefully the Knicks never have to make it to the losers lounge. Or at least no time soon. I'm sure I'm gonna have to give in and do one day, but keep this streak going. Anybody who
My
hasn't
play
seen
of
it,
the week, by the way.
check out the Losers Lounge. It's gonna be streaming on Sim's channel consistently, but the first episode is on my channel as well. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. It's dope. Moving right along, RJ Barrett. I mean, finally stepped up, but stepped up when we kind of needed him to the most. You know what I mean? We've been getting by with some subpar play throughout the season. He's had good moments throughout the season as well, but what I'm saying is when he's been down, we've still survived, right? For the most part, it hasn't been a detriment to us. But here's a time where we really needed him to step up. In the absence of Brunson, and he did his thing. He did his thing, and hopefully this could be the turning point where he becomes super, consistent. Because I think he didn't do anything out of the ordinary, anything that's like, oh, that doesn't look sustainable. I think that can be RJ night in and night out. What we saw for him last game, Um, let me get you guys take on that RJ Barrett, and then I'll get to this super chat. Appreciate.
I thought
Yeah, I
RJ was
mean,
aggressive. I thought he was aggressive. That was the most. That was the thing. It's like, you got to get the ball. You got to go quick. It's like between him and Randall, sometimes it's just too slow trying to decide and figure out what you're doing. If they block the shot, if you miss, all right, I can live with it. But just go, and make a play. And but for me, most importantly though, was he actually seemed very engaged on the defense. And that's really what I was hoping to get this season from RJ, which was to be the Swiss, to basically be what Josh Hart has become on the Knicks, is what I was hoping we would have been getting from RJ, which is do whatever we need. Like today, if we need you to be the hustle man, be the hustle man. If we need you to score more and score 25 the next game, do that. If we need you to get more boards and more assists the next game, be that guy. And just whatever kind of as needed. And he really seems to just be so locked in on scoring, but that's not what we delivered. That's not what he delivered yesterday. It was a well-rounded game, and that's the RJ we need. Like, just do whatever it is, bro, and just get it done. And he did that. So hopefully we get that RJ we got last night going forward.
yeah, to your point, I think one game since the All-Star break, he had like 7 assists. Last night, he had 11 rebounds. You know, just seems to be playing the game, not forcing it, um, and just hitting his shots. He's efficient. He's shooting over 45, 46%, since the All-Star break. Hasn't been shooting that well from three, though. But overall, he's been shooting. That means he's been shooting well from two. That means he's been finishing at the basket. I always get a little nervous when he start dribbling, setting his man up for a shot. I do get a little nervous, but against Boston, he hit it. So I like the way RJ Barrett is playing right now. I do want the threes to come around though, because in the playoffs with Brunson and Randle, you think they're gonna double crowd, whatever, try to get the ball out their hands. We need guys to hit threes. So I'm hoping that, RJ Barrett's 3-point shooting comes around.
Great. Let me get to the super chat. Jalbino 59. Appreciate the super chat. He says, salute to Tony Crow, most loyal Knicks fan on the planet. Appreciate you. Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat. I'm with you. The media hates being proven wrong. Perk calls Stephen A wishy-washy bandwagon fan, and he's right. I mean, I've been calling out Stephen A for the past year and a half, I think, because of his flip floppiness, and I mean, sometimes I go back and forth because I get it. We all been through these nicks and bruises, right? And we've all had our moments where we say some things about the team, say something about players. Um, but I look at Stephen A. I come to the conclusion he's an entertainer, and he's conformed to the. He knows what reaction it gets when you talk negatively or not positively about the Knicks, and he's doing that for money. I would think more than those being his true feelings most of the time. But yeah, and the media they gonna change their tune. They slowly adding this into their segments. They prefer to say Celtics lost than Knicks won, but it's fine. It'll change. It'll change.
Winning changes everything.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Um, what are you guys' thoughts on sitting Brunson another game? Obviously, um, he's gonna want to play if he feels like he could play. But my thing is, I ask him if you're not 100%. I don't. If you're 98%, get that extra 2%. Right? Get that extra day rest. We seen you saw what we, excuse me, are capable of against a high quality team. Um, let's let us get you back to 100%, and we'll take care of business. What do you guys think about that? Any concern even seeing the injury, and if you were concerned when you saw it.
That might have been the time I dozed off, so I didn't really, I didn't really see the injury. But what I will say is, I don't know who's 100%, but I think if he's back to where he was prior to the injury, then he should play. I think if he's not, then yeah, sit. I don't like to play the, you know, let's just sit, even though I'm healthy type of thing. To rest up for the play. Stop taking things for for granted. We got
Hmm.
16 more 16 more games and what have you. We not there yet. But if he's not back to where he was prior to the injury, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I feel. If it's lingering at all, let it get back, because why risk, especially no disrespect, not taking any team lightly, but if you can rest it, put it like this: if you're still hurting and you play against Charlotte and then you tweak it, why risk that when you could get back to 100% and take that game off? What's your thoughts, Shuttle?
I ain't scared of Scary Terry. You know what I'm saying? And with the game that Quickly just played, you know what I mean? He got Dennis Smith Jr. backing him up. So I mean, I kind of got some confidence on Deuce in that matchup. And truth be told, after the game that we had last night, I had even said to you that same night, I text you, I was like, yeah, we should sit Brunson. Matter of fact,
Definitely.
sit Brunson and sit Randall. Like, since you're gonna sit Brunson, give Randall a break. Like, I know it's tough when you got a non-game winning streak, you got the momentum, and I don't know. I'm just a long range planner and long range thinker. So I mean, after a game like the minutes that Randall played yesterday, listen, I know he got his Iron Man streak. I don't think he's missed a game all season, but I would even if I played him and didn't sit him, I would reduce his minutes tremendously in this game. I give Obi more minutes, and and I certainly don't mean any disrespect to the Hornets, but if there's any time you were given an opportunity to rest some of your guys, considering the rest of your schedule, this would be the time to really seriously think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm just like, don't mess with the basketball gods. Like, if you can't play, don't play. But resting people, and I don't know. I just think you just send that message that
Mm,
we too good right now. We there
mhm,
right now. We don't got to
mhm.
worry
No,
about Charlotte.
no, but you're also coming off a double overtime game, and Randall is a guy that hasn't missed a game the entire season, and he plays 35 minutes a game already on a regular. So to me, it's less about quote unquote resting, but it's like, all right, listen, we got to scale your minutes down because you know there's been a great deal of demands on you right now. So, like I said, even if you don't sit them, get Obi in to get more minutes strategically. Even if it's like yeah, we're playing to win, but we're gonna reduce Randall's minutes. Let Brunson sit, and you know yeah, exactly, Duggar. We
I mean,
probably
I will
agree.
see how
We
the
probably
game
agree
goes.
on this more than anything we've ever agreed on, because you got Miami coming up, you got Cleveland coming up, you got other conference games against teams that are more in competition for slotting and positioning. And yeah, if I had to lose any game with the remaining 16 games, this is probably the number one game I'd be willing to concede if I had to.
Mm.
Yeah, with Tibbs, I don't think
See,
that's gonna
yeah,
happen.
And that's why I love Tibbs.
you take it a little bit further than me, only because like I'm more with the Queen as far as if it's lingering, rest. And I'm speaking Brunson specifically.
Right.
Um, Randall, I wouldn't even play around with those things of you know unless he needs it, unless there's something lingering. Yeah, I'm with the whole basketball guys thing, and You can't front, man. Whether hypothetical or not, they've been in our favor. You know what I mean? Like the way things been going. You know what I mean? The bounce off Randall foot he catch it. You know what I mean? All the stuff that's been going on.
Facts.
Don't mess with it. I agree in that aspect. You know what I mean? Like whatever y'all was eating for breakfast, keep eating it. Whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever things, superstitious things y'all been doing, keep doing that, Jack. Because it's been working. Stafford Don in the chat. Appreciate you, bro. I see you out there. Let's see what he said.
Yeah, the Celtics play Cleveland tonight, who are one game ahead of us. But
Mhm.
Tatum, Horford, and Robert Williams III are not playing tonight.
Mm.
That's serious. I mean, that's serious. What does
So
that say
we in a
about
battle too. So we
yeah,
talk about that. Like we're in a battle
yeah,
to try to get home court.
yeah. I mean,
Through the playoffs.
that says a lot though, because we over here talking about doing, should we do that? Blah 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 blah. Granted, this is a back to back. Maybe that has more to do with it than us. We got a day off in between games, but that's interesting. It's all right. Go
I don't know if
ahead
it's
and
for rest though. They might be nicked up. I don't know if it didn't say why.
I mean, I heard them. I heard somebody speaking about that last night.
Hmm.
Williams was already out. Who else you said? Tatum and who?
Al Horford.
Okay. Offer Al Horford's pretty old, so you know what I mean. And he played a lot of minutes last night, so that could be the back to back thing. Tatum, I'm not sure.
Maybe they sitting him
Tatum,
for missing that game winning shot. Sit down with your game winning missing shot. So boy, yeah, sit down, Horford. Oh, here
Brian
we go.
Wilford
A lot
said
of
D
questions.
Mitchell's
Kind of questionable.
questionable. That's
Okay.
interesting too. But yeah,
Oh,
I guess I
Williams
got
left
to
the
root. I
game.
got to root for the
Williams
Celtics tonight, though. Either way,
Wi-
get that fourth seed.
Williams has a hamstring injury, so that's lingering.
Yeah, he been out. What else did I
And
have? I
Tatum,
think I had
I,
one more.
I did see Tatum go. I did see Tatum go to the back through
To
the
the back
tunnel back to the locker
twice.
room. Yeah,
Twice. It might have
yeah.
been three times. It's interesting because I watched their post game. You know what I mean? Interviews post game with the coach, and they asked him about it. Um, and before the reporter could even finish the question, the coach was like, "Bathroom break," and the reporter was like, two, 3 times, and he was just like, "Bathroom break." So, I mean, I don't know if that was the truth or what I mean, he was just protecting his player. So that is a good observation. He definitely went back there. I saw it twice. The reporter must
I
have
saw it
seen it
twice.
a third time. So
Yeah, he had the boo boo bubbles. You know what I mean? We all know.
Hershey squirts.
We all know. Or I don't know. They say he's out. They listed it as knee. So who
And
knows what
remember that play
that really is.
that play with Josh Hart when he took out Tatum and Brown and Brown in the same possession. I don't mean to laugh, but what I
Nah,
mean, like
hard
he was
definitely.
like
And he was like,
number
"Yo,
one
what
option, number
happened?
two
What happened?"
option. They both and then was like, oh, what happened? So that was pretty bad.
That's the kind of
Um
physicality we've been missing on this team.
yeah. I am Jarrell in the chat. Salute. Appreciate you. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get my acknowledgments on for this pop
He's still in
age.
the ice tub. He in the chamber. He's still in the chamber.
Yeah. Any I mean we ain't talk about Randall. Let's give Randall his props. I mean, finally got the game winner on a I think you muted clean.
He was named Player of the Week today.
Randall,
hmm
nice, nice. There you go.
29.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and a 4.0 week.
Oh shoot! See, he said Brunson got Player of the Month. I'm going for it this month. It's my turn. You know, all you need is two of those to be in contention for for the month, and as long as nobody else get the other two. Um, but yeah, Randall, man, game winner, finally got that monkey off his back. You know, he's had numerous opportunities throughout his Knicks career. We've seen him not get the shot off, not get the shot off in time. We've seen the turnovers. We've seen every type of scenario that was possible, and then we finally see him knock down that big bucket. Um, but even more importantly to me is prior to that, he's hitting free throws down the stretch recently. He's not deferring. He's having big moments down the stretch recently,
hmm
and he did have a blunder in my opinion. Um, at the end of regulation last game, um, demanding that ball from Quickley. I think he still could have got the ball. Um, but the way he did that and where he was positioned, obviously we seen it ended in a turnover, no shot attempt at all. It caused the overtime in general. That's one thing as a team we gotta get that shot attempt off. You know what I mean? Because we've seen that numerous times this year where we don't even get an attempt, and that could be the difference in winning the game going into overtime, winning the series, whatever it be. But overall, man, Randall, his transformation, his focus, he's like tonight or last night, he was putting those moments that he was putting in that playoff series against Atlanta, right?
hmm
And he overcame it. Even
Right.
going even after making a mistake in regulation, going into the overtime, he made the adjustments. You know what I mean? And he was aware of how he was giving those turnovers and how to change it. So salute to him, man. I think he's ready for a new playoff outcome,
hmm
and at least him not
I hope
being
so.
the guy that is missing. But
I,
what have you seen from
I
Randall
really
in these last couple games?
I really hope so. I mean, he's player of the week, so obviously, he getting busy. Um, but I just will focus more on last night's game, because I feel like more than any game, last night's game is a reflection of when the playoffs come or what you should be expecting. And Boston's defense was very, very good. Like their timing, when they come with the double, how they come with the double, who comes on the double. Like Randall, like you need to go back and watch this tape and study this tape. Study this tape because there were times when you didn't execute it, but there were times when he actually did. As the overtime went along, he seemed to get a little bit better and more alert on how to dish it out and make the pass. And I think the double overtime helped us because he was a little tired, and maybe he's like, "All right, I don't even got the energy to force it up. Let me just pass this ball." And you know, I was thinking that I was watching the game, but yeah, I think he needs to study how Boston approached it, and they're an elite defensive team. So if he can take some mastery away from how they approached him, I think it'll have him better prepared for all games going forward. And that I'd like to see. I hated the 7 turnovers even in double overtime. Yeah, but overall, he's passing the ball, he's trusting his teammates. Even with Quickley in the game yesterday, instead of bringing the ball up, I seen him passing the ball to Quickley, letting Quickley bring it up. I'm like, okay, we're getting some progress here. You know what I mean? So he's trusting his teammates more, and the teammates are delivering. So kudos all around to Randall and the squad.
And yeah, no doubt about it. I'm glad the Knicks didn't trade him. I mean, one of the things that we talked about him in the offseason, for me, I wanted to see him with a point guard, and I wanted to see him have a summer to reflect and get his mind right. Because usually when he doesn't play well or there's an aspect of his game that he needs to work on, usually he comes back the next season and he's better, right? And that's what he did this season. The Knicks got a point guard. He got into meditation, mindfulness, or whatever he's doing, to keep himself straight and centered. His skill was never an issue. It was just about him giving himself a chance and being able to stay focused, for 48 minutes. And I'm glad that the Knicks listened to me and did not give up on talent. You cannot give up on talent. You got to
That's
give
right.
it every opportunity. And he's just playing lights out. He's efficient. His movements are efficient, except for the last shot of the game, and a few, a few possessions, last night. His movements are efficient. His decision making is better. Um, I don't have any complaints about um Julius Randle. I think, you know, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Is
We're gonna do a receipts edition in the off season about what was said about Julius Randle. But for right now, he's playing well. I have no problems with him. He's elevated his game. I look forward to watching him in the playoffs, and I have no concerns about how he'll perform in the playoffs because he has a better team. They can't key on him,
and if
so
you
And
do,
the,
he'll
and
have
somebody
the
else
words
to
of,
kill
and
you.
the
to
words of
operate.
Tibbs, and the words of Tibbs, we got better players.
Right. We got we
uh,
have we have better players. Yeah.
Shout out to Parrish Duggar. He says he thinks the 3-point contest helped Randall get more accurate from three. Um, I mean, I don't know, but he's definitely on pace to break the Fournier's record. So, what are your
Imagine that.
thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on
I don't know.
him potentially breaking Fournier's record?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Oh no, I think he will
Queen.
break the record. Hmm.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Is it? I know you've been back and forth for him and the threes, and you know what I mean. When the contest came up, it's like, oh boy, don't let him win. And, yeah, but if he comes in and break Fournier record,
Yeah.
you better believe this is a staple in his arsenal moving forward.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's a staple anyway. I think he's only shooting like 35% league average, but he
I mean,
popping them out there like he's shooting 40, 41%, but it's all
listen,
good.
as long as he can stay around league average, right? As long as he's shooting it with confidence, and
Hmm.
as long as he's minimizing those heat checks,
Right. Right.
I think we're fine. Like, cause he takes good shots. You know what I mean? He's not really
Right.
just chucking them up there, and I think that's the emphasis with this team. We
Right.
want to take a lot of threes, but we want to take a lot of good threes.
Right.
And I guess when you do it that way, I understand some of the analytic people
Hmm.
who want to go. You know, the three is obviously three is more than two. If I shoot at this percentage at three, then it makes up for me shooting all these twos. But yeah, it's a staple. It's here to stay, whether we like it or not. Um,
Yeah,
I
I don't
like
I don't have a problem with it.
I like it when he makes them. That's for sure.
I never expected him to shoot this consistently, but
I
we here
didn't
now.
either. I didn't either. Like eight a game, 10 a game. How about Tatum shot 23s last night?
He had 40 points on 30 shots. He looked a little like
30
RJ
shots,
Barrett last
20 of
night.
them was threes.
Yeah.
I think he
Yo, listen,
might have
un,
been
un,
6 for 20
unheralded,
from three.
unheralded though last night.
It's 30%.
Grimes early and Hart more late, and even RJ a little bit from time to time on Tatum. I mean, it's hard to say you play good defense on a guy that hit 40 points, but like they were making him earn his points. They were playing him tough. They were making him move, and I mean, he averaged 30, and it was a double overtime, and he scored 40. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like overall the team had good defense on them, and it wasn't like it was a walk in the park kind of 40.
Can't
He shot 12 for 30. He shot 12 for 30 from the field, and 6 of 17 from three.
Hmm.
So
17
you
threes.
know, yeah. So I mean, 12 for 30 from the field. I mean, that's below 50%. So that's below his average, and 6 of 17 from three. I'll live with that.
Um, Parrish Duggar says Randall might get a 1 game suspension for bumping the ref. Can you get a suspension without getting an ejection?
Yes.
Because I
They
thought
can
he
look
was
at it afterwards, I think.
okay. I honestly thought he was gonna get ejected. To be honest, I ain't even gonna front. Um, you can see it. The ref did not want to give him the tech. He was like, "You made me do it." It's like, why'd you have to go and do that? You know what I mean? I was listening to you complain, and you gonna go and bump me like that. This was definitely a
Randall,
borderline, you know what I mean? Borderline game for Randall. Like,
nah,
yeah,
this is
he definitely
he,
had
he
to
also have
find his
he also
zen.
have 5 fouls. He also have 5 fouls, and I thought I was concerned about him fouling out. He was able to keep his head in the game and play smart and stay in there. I
Hmm.
was definitely impressed by that.
Yeah. But I think we good, man. We could wrap it up. Appreciate everybody in the chat that joined. Got 52 people in here. Hit that like button on the way out. If you just wandered in, hit that subscribe button, please. Um, check out the Queen's channel as well. Dope Soul Sports Talk. You could tell them when to find you, what times and everything, Queen. And then we got Queen's Court tonight.
Yes. Well, definitely Queen's Court every Monday around 8:30 p.m. on Nothing But Knicks. On my own channel, I go every Thursday night at 9 p.m. There's a panel show. And then every morning after the Knicks play, about 9:15 the next morning, I do the morning recap show. And stay tuned. And I got a lot of things planned for the off season.
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to Sim as well, the Podfather.
Shout out.
Um, always, man, helping out, giving pointers, supporting, motivating, opening up the platform. Um, got a new segment on his show called The Losers Lounge. It's gonna be after the post game. So if you're there for the post game, give us a couple minutes. We'll set up the Losers Lounge right after that. It's a funny little show. We go into the opposing team's chat and we highlight some of the comments and listen to how they're feeling and talk about that.
Now,
Um,
I think Knicks fans need to hear that and need to see that.
yeah, Shutter was watching last night. Um, and Shutter, where can they follow you, find you? I know you got your radio show.
Yeah, I DJ Shuttle NYC for any all my social media. And every Friday night, we bring the club to the radio on iHeart and One Away Soul from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. You can download the One Away Soul app, or if you got the iHeart app, just type in One Away Soul again every Friday night, 8 to 10 Eastern. We're keeping it fly, keeping it fresh. And this Friday night, big party in Long Island. I might be able to hook up some, Knicks and Bruises and some Nothing But Knicks family with some passes if they follow me on the IG. You heard?
There you go. And Queen's Court tonight. Excuse me, 8:30. Oh, you muted, Queen. I'm sorry.
Yes. 8:30 tonight, Queens Court. We're gonna go over what we usually do, the 4-0 week. I think I had the Knicks 3-1. I forgot what you two said, but we'll go over that, and we'll talk about both Quickley and RJ's performance since the All-Star break and what we need from them going forward. We talked some of this on Dope Soul, but I want to get DJ Shuttles and Tony Crow's opinion.
I said if we beat Boston in the first game, we going 4-0.
Yeah, okay.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. And before I go, I'm gonna outro with a plug from the volume. I don't know this gentleman's name, but he was talking some truths about the Knicks. I want y'all to hear that, and we out of here. Shout out to the chat. Go Blackest Time. Until next time, man.
Shot of the game and the game winner. Time and time again down the stretch of this game, no matter what punch Miami threw offensively to get the lead or to get back into the game, no matter what coverage Eric Spoelstra threw at those guys, those two guys made superstar offensive plays every single possession down the floor. That's what superstars do. They make tough shots over good defense. And why do I talk about that all the time? Because when you get to the playoffs, it's always good defense.